Hello again. This is Lew. People ask me all the time if they can come and visit me to see if I will immerse them. And, these are questions that we have to ask ourselves sometimes when we first come into some truth. Someone recently asked me, who can immerse me that understands all these things? Who is it that has to understand? Is it the person that's doing the, he's standing there looking at you, maybe talking? Another gentleman that understands? Is he being immersed? Was Paul the one that died for you, or some pastor that died for you, and he's going to immerse you? You have to be immersed in the Ruach HaKodesh. He's going to circumcise your heart, and your mind will be changed because you'll have a helper inside you to guide you into all truth. Your immersion is just the beginning. You may not have hardly any idea, but you know you're a sinner. That much you know. And you want to repent and turn away from sin. How are you going to do that? You have to learn what the commandments are. The eternal covenant. You're going to pledge yourself to obeying that. They don't tell you that in most places. Anyway, who do you call on at your immersion for the forgiveness of your crimes against his covenant? Because you're committing a crime against love is what you're doing when you sin. You're sinning against heaven and earth and other people and yourself. You can sin against your own body. Unclean living. Well, the book of Acts tells us to be immersed in the one name by which we must be delivered, and that's Yahusha. The translators, they don't know who Yahusha is. They don't obey him. Yahusha is a word that first was seen used in Numbers 13, verse 16. Now, you must look at an interlinear to understand what's going on there. There was one letter that Moses added to the son of Nun's name. Now, his name was Husha. It wasn't Hosea. At Numbers 13:16, we see when Musha called Husha the son of Nun, Yahusha. It may be Nun, it may be Nun. We don't know. Nun was his father. They called this gentleman Joshua. Well, there's no J until like 1400 something, maybe 1500. But it's not even really, it wasn't in the King James Version at all. There's no letter J. So English didn't have a J until maybe the 16th century. By adding a single letter to the beginning of the name Husha, a yod, it added that letter, and it became instead of a four-letter name, it was He, Ua, Shin, Ayin. Then it became a five-letter name, and it's found 216 times in what they call the Tanakh. And there's five letters in the name Yahusha. It's Yod, He, Ua, Shin, Ayin. That's Yahusha. Yahu is Yahuwah. That's the name of our deliverer. It's who he is. And Shin Ayin is Shah, short for Yasha, and it means deliverance or deliverer. So his name means I am your deliverer, Yahusha. By adding a single letter, it changed the whole thing. How many people have to be present when we are immersed? One person has to be there, and that's you. And, of course, the Spirit of Yahusha, who's been waiting for you. He's just standing there going, well, I'm waiting. He's a spirit right now. He's going to indwell you. You have to have him. You're looking for him, aren't you? Isn't he the one you're really looking for? When you search across oceans, you can go and try to find him. But he's always been there, waiting for you. Immersion is easy, but often highly controlled by men's influences on us. If you've come into the truth of the basic steps more clearly, run to the water now. Yahusha is waiting to hear your belief that he has purchased you. Ask him for his forgiveness and tell him you want to pledge your obedience to his renewed covenant, which is the same eternal covenant, but it's a renewed covenant in his blood rather than animal blood. It's the same one. It's an eternal covenant. It's the 10 Commandments of love. The first 4 train us how to love Yahuwah, and the last 6, how to love our neighbor. And against these things there's no law. They produce the fruits of his Spirit: love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, gentleness, goodness, self-control, and trustworthiness. He'll respond to your obedience in the water, and he will give you his Spirit. He promised it. Acts 5:32 says his Spirit is only given to those who obey him. Do you see any obedience? Well, ask yourself this. Do Christians do anything at all that's written in that book? Let me go get it. I'll show it to you. Go to your pastor, your Christian pastor, if you have one, and say, you've told me to read this word, and we don't do a single thing that's written in here. Can you tell me why that is? There's really no explanation other than they're not serving Yahusha. They're serving something else. He'll respond to your obedience when you actually immerse. He's your helper. Read Acts 5:32. It tells you his Spirit is only given to those who obey him. So, obey him. Don't obey men. Call on him. We know his name. And call on him as our deliverer, which is Yahusha. It means I am your deliverer. Our pledge, when we're immersed, is between us and Yahusha. We're talking, not some people standing around. Millions of people can be watching if you want, but they're not going to be able to help you. They can't make it more effective. It's the water, you, and the Spirit of Yahusha. That's it. If there's anybody else involved, really, that's important, then you've got a misguided teaching there. Our pledge is between us and Yahusha, whether anyone else is present to witness it or not. What others think or say about it does not make any difference. Yahusha is the one who circumcises our heart, and our heart is our mind. It's controlled by him now. You run everything through him. He lets you see what he sees, and he shares it with you, because you and him become one. And he gives us his perspective from that time on. And by immersing, he seals us as his property with his name. And we commit to his covenant of kindness, and we become his bride. And he will bring you to his marriage supper. That's what it's all about. Read the last chapter of Revelation, chapter 22. Those who know him will guard his commandments, and they will be entitled to go to eat the fruit of the tree of life and to enter the gates of the city. Those who guard his commandments. Outside of the city will be dogs, the dogs who do not obey him. They practice lawlessness. That's what it says. Well, thanks for watching this, and join NatsarimLife.com and you can see other Natsarim who understand these things. Baruch haba b'shem Yahuwah. Blessed is the one who comes in the name of Yahuwah. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Bye.
Mm-hmm.